he was always playing victim. That's what I noticed. He will always play victim. Like, even if he did something wrong, he will always turn it back to me. Like, oh, it's because you did this and this and this. That's why I'm acting this way. That's why I'm acting that way. Yeah. Okay. And it went on for so long that I got so comfortable with him. Like, he was like the only one. Like, I literally isolated myself from even my family. That's how manipulative it was. Like, I wasn't even interacting with my family. I wouldn't even go out with my family when they're going out. I would rather stay home and talk to him on the phone all the time.
If you do something wrong, he acts out. And if he acts out and you ask him, you're the problem.
Yeah.
So you just want to rather sit here, don't do nothing, don't touch nothing, just look pretty.
Yeah.
So that happened at the age of 10. You're now Columbus or Toledo with your mom and stepdad. They had 3 other babies. Growing up from then, how was that like in your teen years?
It was really challenging. It was really challenging because of that experience. You know how like when something like that happened to someone, like, they're very like scared to even like want to date or like want to have any like sexual encounters with anybody.
It can go both ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For me, it went both.
Yeah. Or you can be like, well, if this man did it, I can just let any other man.
And that's what happened to me. It was the opposite for me. So growing up in middle school and junior high, I thought I was that girl, you know, since I'm pretty and I went through that, like, I can get any guy. I can get any guy. Not that I wasn't sleeping around in a sense, like I just let myself go, but I was just dating just to date. Like, I was just talking to guys. I just wanted the attention from guys, you know? Because it's hard to explain, because it's like, okay, if somebody that I trusted did this to me, like, I just don't care anymore.
Did you, in the don't care era, you didn't trust no man?
I didn't.
How was your relationship like with your stepfather?
With my stepfather, we had a great relationship.
Okay.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Of course, but I mean, like, like, you know, father-daughter relationship can also like aid into rebelling from like the dating world or whatever. But I feel like with yours, it definitely wasn't like from the source of that. Was a source of uncle being touched at 7, and your relationship with your dad didn't like help with that. It was a good relationship, but because of what happened at the age of 7, it led you to rebel in the dating world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
So you started dating at the age of
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was, like, you know, a little Miss 16-year-old going on dates?
Yeah, you know, I wanted to wear the short shorts and you know, look all cute going to school. I gave my parents a hard time. I'm not gonna lie. I did.
How was your life in school? Like, were you like an academic scholar, or were you like, school was not for me?
I mean, I was getting my grades to pass, but I wasn't like thinking about college or any of that stuff. I just went to school just to go to school.
What did you want to be at that time?
At that time, I still kind of had the singing thing in me, because I knew like I had a voice. That's why I was also in choirs and stuff like that in school too. So I kind of had that singing thing still in me, but I didn't know what I really wanted to pursue.
When did the singing thing start? Or you discovered it? I want to say start.
I mean, since I was young, like I just been singing in the shower, singing to my friends. You know, that's
just sing for fun.
I just sing for fun. I never knew it was actually like a gift. I didn't even know what gift was at that time. I just thought it was a talent. I thought it was a talent. I didn't think it was a gift. So yeah, I wanted to be like a singer, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started dating age of 16. How was dating like from then to, let's say, age of 20?
Like I said, I just dated for the attention. I wasn't really like, I wanted something serious.
Was there a specific man that, like, you know, caught your attention on a specific topic? Like, oh, let me pay attention to this. Let me change this. Let me be the Jemmiessah I need to be. Like, any good influence from dating?
No.
Oh my.
And the crazy thing about it is the guys that actually I got attracted to was kind of showing the same characteristics as my uncle.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how I knew it really affected me. Like I said, I wanted the attention. Guys who would be like, oh, you're so pretty, you know, out of this and this person, you're the prettiest. Yeah, it kind of like, I don't know if it was a psychological thing that was going on, but it's like, ooh, I want to, you know, I want to talk to him. You know, he sees me to be that special one. He sees me to be the favorite.
Oh my Jesus.
Yes. So it really messed me up. It really did. So, you know, I was just talking to guys from here, you know, everyone.
When did you decide, like, oh, let me stop dating around and actually focus on one person?
I would say maybe my senior year. But even with that relationship, I got cheated on. So I never took relationships serious. Like, that was my actual, like, first relationship that I was trying to pursue into something serious. Because at that time I was a senior, you know. But it didn't go well. Like, you know, I thought it was the special one. Yeah. I thought I was, but yeah, I got played and yeah, I got cheated on really bad. Real bad.
So when does it come in your story when you met the father of your kids?
So where that comes in, I was still a senior in high school. And like I said, at the time, so from Toledo, we moved to Columbus, and we used to stay out east.
Okay.
So my dad was going to nursing school at the time, and he had a classmate that lived on the north side, and she was attending this church. So she invited my family and I to come visit her church. So like I said, at that time I was still a senior in high school. So when we came to this church, you know, we visited it a few times, and you know, the pastor called me and my family back in his office to talk to us and to, you know, welcome us to the church and all that. And then he came to me and he was like, what do you do? I sense something. I'm like,
who?
My pastor.
Your pastor, okay.
My pastor was talking to me now. He was like, what do you do? I sense something. I'm like, I sing. He was like, yeah, I knew you did something. Okay. And then he was like, why don't you join the praise and worship team? Why don't you join the choir, you know, and see, because I know God has something great in store for you. You know, that voice is not just for the world, blah, 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 you know, giving me all the rundown with all that. So I said, okay. So I decided to join the choir. And at that time, my kid's father was also part of the whole choir and ministry thing at the church. So he would play the drums, and then sometimes he would lead prayers. So that's how we started getting to like see each other more often. And then after some time, we ended up moving to the north side. So it can be easier because my dad's school was also in the north. So he used to travel, drive and stuff like that. So we moved to the north, and I started going to church more consistently. And, you know, me and him started talking. And we got to a point where we started getting used to each other. And even before we decided to date, you know, he used to help me a lot with like reading the Bible and like praying and stuff, because I was never really into that. I was a Christian. I got baptized. I gave my life to Christ and everything, but I wasn't serious about it. So he helped me. He did. He helped me a lot. We used to do Bible plans together and all that. And
he was different from I used for you were special, you're pretty. Yes. It sounds like to me. He was different.
He was different. Yeah, he was different. So that kind of got me thinking like, okay, maybe I don't have to go for the ones who are looking at my physical appearance, you know. He actually wants to build something like inside of me, you know, especially with the whole spiritual growth thing. So I kind of found that attractive. I'm like, that's different. So now looking back, I always say this to myself, like, maybe we did rush the whole dating thing. Maybe God put him in my life to just build me spiritually. Because looking back at even how fast we got into a relationship and we're doing things we're supposed to do, and like it would have been better if we would have just stayed at
friendship, maybe
friendship and brother and sister in Christ, brother and sister in Christship, whatever it is.
Not brother and sister in Christ.
Yeah. So, but you know, we got used to each other. You know, we used to go out on dates a lot, and we decided to get into a relationship.
Okay.
We decided to get into a relationship.
How old were you?
I was 17. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And when did your first kid come into play?
So we dated for 2 years. Yeah, we dated for 2 years. And even during the relationship, things began to change with him quick.
What do you mean?
Like, when we started dating, like, I used to notice, like, he wasn't the same person that he was when we were just friends or, like, into the whole scriptures.
Okay.
So I started noticing, like, his anger started changing towards me, like, different way he will talk to me, or little things I do, it just irritates him. And sometimes, like, he won't talk to me for days or weeks because I got him angry. And at that time, I didn't know it was red flags.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't know it was red flags. I just went with it, like, okay.
You just endured it.
Yeah.
Like, what's this
I'm
normal?
like, okay.
Somebody that your relationship with is normal.
Yeah, like, he's not the same person, but I guess maybe he would get better, or maybe because now our friendship changed the relationship, so maybe he wants to be, I don't know, I was thinking maybe he wants to be serious with me. It was weird. I don't know. Okay. I was just having all these different thoughts, like, why is he acting this way? Is it something I did? And it went on for a long time.
Did you ever confront him?
I did.
Or told your mom? Okay, you did.
I confronted him.
Did that change things for you guys?
It got worse.
Okay. Okay.
I confronted him and it got worse. It got worse. Like, he was always playing victim. That's what I noticed. He will always play victim. Like, even if he did something wrong, he will always turn it back to me. Like, oh, it's because you did this and this and this. That's why I'm acting this way. That's why I'm acting that way. Yeah. Okay. And it went on for so long that I got so comfortable with him. Like, he was like the only one. Like, I literally isolated myself from even my family. That's how manipulative it was. Like, I wasn't even interacting with my family. I wouldn't even go out with my family when they're going out. I would rather stay home and talk to him on the phone all the time.
Because if you do something wrong,
yes,
he acts out. And if he acts on you, ask him, you're the problem.
Yeah.
So you just want to rather sit here, don't do nothing, don't touch nothing, just look pretty.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I always wanted to please him. That's one thing I noticed looking back. I always wanted to please him. I never wanted to get on his bad side. Because it's like, this is the only person I talk to. Like, if I don't talk to him, who else am I going to talk to? Yeah. I never had friends at that time. It was just him. Like, he was like the center of my world.
So he was the center of your world and he pulled you away. Was it like he like told you, Jemmiessah, don't go here, don't do this, don't be friends with this person, or you did it solely because you got to be perfect for him? You can't make no mistakes.
It was kind of both. Okay. It was kind of both. One thing I noticed too is whenever he tells me to not do something, he will reference it back to the Bible as to back it up. Yeah. Like, for example, friends are distracting, you know, don't be friends with the world, you know, those type of scriptures, like, don't be equally yoked, you know, with the world and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess because, you know, some of my friends like to party and stuff, so maybe they are a bad influence. Yeah, maybe they are a bad influence, you know, on me. So just things like that. So it's like he would manipulate me and use a scripture because he knew that's where he got me. Yeah. And okay. I just look back now and I'm kind of putting puzzles together like, oh, that's what happened. Oh, okay, girl, that's what happened.
I understand you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I noticed, like, because that's where he got me and I trusted him and I looked up to him. Yes. And even though the Bible scriptures, you know, praying is good, but he used it for the wrong reason. Yeah. So he used it to get me hooked on him, and He was like a drug to me. He was like a drug. I was addicted. Yeah, that's how it was.
Him and only him.
Yes, yes. You know, my family started noticing it, and
I was going to ask you, like, did anyone like see like you were dismissive or distant? Like, hey, Jemmiessah, what's up? You want to come over? You want to do something? Talk to me.
Yeah. My family definitely noticed it because, you know, I was still living with them at the time.
Yeah.
It affected my studies. I'd rather talk on the phone with him all night than to do my homework. It got to this point where like my dad even had to take my phone away. And when I tell you I was miserable, I was miserable.
Because you couldn't talk to him?
Yes.
Man.
My parents don't know this. But I snuck
under the phone, or you went to go get it. Girl, I've been there, done that. They would take my phone.
I went to get like an old flip phone, you know, the one with the cards.
Yeah.
Yes, to put minutes on it.
I didn't do that. What I would do is I would know where to hit my phone. So the times we're not home, I would go like, you know, go get my phone like, hey, what's up?
Oh, I did that too.
Oh, okay.
I snuck and texted him and, you know,
Man.
but I secretly went because I remember this day, like, one time me and my mom and my siblings went to do laundry.
Yeah.
And it was like at a laundromat. And there was like a Verizon store, like either Verizon, Boost. I think it was like a Boost store, like the Boost mobile store next to the laundromat. Yeah. And then there was a Family Dollar next to the laundromat. So I told my mom, I said, I'm going to go get something. You know, I already had the money. I planned everything. I already had the money because I was getting allowances and stuff like that. I was even working. I was working at Wendy's at the time. So I was getting, you know, a few bucks here and there.
Yeah.
So I saved my first paycheck.
For a phone.
Yes.
For him.
See, love. So I went, you know, I told my mom, I'm going to the dollar store to get some snacks and stuff. And then my little sister wanted to find me. I'm like, no, you stay. I'll bring you back something. You stay. I'll bring you back something. So I snuck in. I looked around. I snuck in the Boost store, and you know, you just had to pay for the phone and then pay for the service or whatever. And I got a phone unknowingly. Sorry, mom and dad. I got a phone unknowingly, and I got on my Facebook. I messaged him like, you know, my dad took my phone, but here you could, you know, we could continue our conversations on here. So yeah, I will only use the phone when they're away, or sometimes when I'll go to the bathroom, I'll take the phone with me, make a quick phone call, like, hey, you know, how you doing? But yeah, like, it affects me that I started sacrificing things just for him.
Yeah.
And it was like, looking back, like, did I really do that? Did I really like idolize this man? Like, he was my everything.
Oh, you did. And it's okay because now you see it and you know better.
Yes. Yes. So, like I said, we dated for 2 years. We went to prom together and everything. I didn't even have the prom pictures.
Cute.
But like I said, things was not really good, you know, and I knew it wasn't good, but I was hooked, and I felt like I could make it better. So like I said, I'll always try to keep him happy.
Go the extra mile.
Go the extra mile. Even down to like prom, the colors was him. My type of dress was him. It was bad. It was bad. I didn't have no say in anything. Like, he told me that he liked girls natural. I cut my hair. I'm telling you, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I cut my hair. I went and cut off all my hair. I did the big chop because he liked his girls natural.
Okay.
Told me, like, you know, certain foods I should eat so I wouldn't gain weight because he don't like big girls. I mean, I was skinny at the time anyways, but yeah.
When did the pregnancy come in? Like, how, like, I know it was unplanned. So you found out you're pregnant. And when you told him, what was his reaction? And when did that come in? Were you ready to leave, or were you guys still okay?
So we actually, after the 2 years, I finally decided, like, this is not something I want to be in.
How'd you get to that point? Like, you went from buying a phone for him.
I know.
Decided it's not for you. How'd you get to that point?
To be honest, I really don't know. It just dawned on me. Like, I was so unhappy. I was so unhappy, and I knew, like, at that point I was living for him. I wasn't living for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the point I got to, like, no, I got to start living for myself. It's my life. No one can come and take over my life, you know? And I told him, like, we need a break because there's just a lot going on. And, you know, I can't really go into details with you because I knew he would probably get mad and try to manipulate me again. So I just said, we need a break. I didn't even say anything about breakup. I just said, we need a break. But that was my way of saying, I need some time away from you. I'm done with you. Yeah. So up to now, he still thought that it was just a break. It was just a break. Yeah. And then after like a few weeks, I started feeling funny. So
you found out you're pregnant, and then you decide to leave this man.
Yes.
Oh my Jesus. Okay, hold on.
Oh my God, why? I thought I made the right choice.
I'm asking him that question too. Like, why?
Yes. So I started like, when you're pregnant, you know your body. Like, okay, what's going on? My body don't do that. Like, I wasn't throwing up and stuff, but like, I just knew something was invading my body.
Invading your body? That's a different way to say it.
I'm like, something is up. I'm not on my period, so something is weird. Yeah. Like, my appetite started changing. I started being more tired. Like, it was weird. Like, and the first thing I did was, oh God, let me go take a pregnancy test. I went to buy a pregnancy. Actually, I bought like 3. I bought like 4 actually. And then I scheduled another pregnancy test at the pregnancy center just to be
Gotta make sure.
Just to be sure. So after I even still have the picture. I took like 4. It said pregnant. I'm like, nah, let me go. Let me go, doctor. Let me go get it checked again. She came out. She's like, yeah, congratulations, you're pregnant. I'm like, okay, yeah. So she was actually the first person that. You know how like I don't know if you know, but like you go to these pregnancy decision centers, like, and they come and ask you like, you know, what you're going to do or what is your decision, you know, because obviously I was still a teenager. I was like, I think I found out I was like 18. Yeah, 18. So she's like, you know, we have different decisions, you know, I mean, different options. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep it? You know, if you decide to keep it, we have resources. She brought me a whole gift bag. Aww. Yeah. A congratulations gift bag. She's like, and they're Christian based too. So they didn't really push on abortion, but that was a choice. You know, that was a choice. I told her, I'm like, I want to keep it. And going back to me making that choice, like also growing up, I just thought this just came to mind. Growing up, like through my teenage years, like I had really, really bad period cramps. And I got on like birth control, and the birth control I got on, it affected me to a point where like they told me I couldn't have kids.
Oh my Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That just came to mind. They told me I couldn't have kids. So going forward to someone saying like, okay, yeah, you actually conceived. In my head, I'm thinking,
you gotta keep it. It's a miracle.
Like it's a miracle. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought. Like, wow, they told me I couldn't have kids, and now I conceived, even though it's not the right way when implanted. But yeah, I told her I'm gonna keep it, and she's like, oh, going forward, you know, are you gonna get family to support? I'm like, yeah, my family's gonna be there to support. Yeah. So yeah, I hid it for a little bit.
From who?
From my parents.
Okay.
And him.
Yeah,
and him.
How many months did it take you to tell him?
I think I was about a month and a half.
Okay.
A month and a half before I opened up.
How did he receive it?
Well, he wasn't the first person I told. So I feel like my mom kind of knew. Obviously, you know,
they always know.
They always know. But she never came to ask me anything.
Yeah.
She just used to see me like I'll run to the bathroom because I always pee. I always had to pee. I'm like, it's just the water I drank. You know, I drank too much water. But I knew she knew something. But I actually told her. So I took her out. To lunch one time, and she thought that.
I love it.
And she asked me, she's like, "What's?" Because I never take my mom out for lunch. I don't. Okay. I really don't. So she's like, "What's going on? Is this something special?" I'm like, you'll get to see, you know, you'll figure it out. But I just want to take you out, you know. You're such a great mom. Like, I just want to take you out. She's like, okay. So we were eating, and just talking about regular stuff. She's like, oh, how's school? School is good, you know, just trying to see how things are going in my life. And they actually knew that I broke up with
the boy.
Yeah, with him at the time. So she was like, oh, so how are things gonna go with you and Kwame? I'm like, well, I didn't want to say his name, but how are things gonna go with you and, you know, him? I'm like, well, we're not together, but, you know, yeah, we're just going our separate ways. And then after that, like, it was quiet, and I just started breaking down. I just started crying. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, I'm pregnant. I just kept saying, I'm pregnant. And then she calmed me down, because I was like hyperventilating, like, I'm pregnant. Yeah, it just came out. So she calmed me down. She's like, okay, calm down. It's okay. I'm like, I'm pregnant. Oh my God. Yeah, so after I was calm, she's like, it's okay, you know, things happen. We all went through it. You know, we all know people who had unplanned pregnancy, blah, 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 trying to calm me down.
Yeah.
And then the first thing she asked me was, what are you guys going to do? That was her main focus. Like, okay, now there's a baby in the picture. You guys are not together. What are your plans going forward? What are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. We're not even together. I don't know. But I decided to keep the baby. Yeah. So she's like, okay, well, take your time, but you have to figure out something. You know, we're here to support you. We're here to help you, but we have to know what you guys are doing. So after some time went by, I ended up telling him, I texted him, like...
You texted him?
No, I didn't text him, I'm pregnant. I texted him to call me. I have to talk to you, you know, ASAP. Like, I put ASAP. So, you know, when you say that to guys, they're all worried, like, what's going on? Yeah. So he called me immediately, like, what's going on, you know? So I told him, I'm like, I've been feeling funny. And I had to take a pregnancy test, and I'm pregnant. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm pregnant. Yes, I'm pregnant.